I have a thing with eyeballs, and I'm scared to death that one day my eyeball is going to fall out of my head with dangling on the little string, and I got to put it back. I have nightmares about this. This is a real unrealistic fear. I have a little bit of an ego, and I don't want to be one-eyed Bruce. There was a guy that was in my high school. He had a glass eye. You think that we didn't joke on him about that glass eye? I ran down the court to protect my eyeball. I don't know what running down the full length of the court to protect my eyeball did, but for me in that moment, I needed to run the full length of the court to protect my eyeball. I rarely get embarrassed. All my life, me getting embarrassed wasn't really a thing because I don't really take myself too seriously. But there was one time in a basketball game, I was absolutely embarrassed. So I'm a sophomore, and we're playing a game that we really need to win because we need to make it to the playoffs. And all I want to do is play in the playoffs. I'm like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, not really, but I just want to win, and I want a chance at the championship. And one thing that I always regret from high school is never winning the state championship. But in this particular game, we're playing a rival team that's way, way, way out the way. Like it's 3-4 hours away. And they're not very good. But then again, we're not very good because half our team flunked off. Almost all of our upperclassmen and our main starting player flunked off the team. So we're not that good, and we're battling to make it to the playoffs. I'm in the game, and I've told you guys that I'm real particular about my eyes. I have this I must have seen something as a kid in a movie or a TV show. An unreasonable fear I have is my eyes popping out of my head. I don't know why I have this fear. I have this fear. It probably comes from the torture video from the Jacksons in the Victory album where my man puts his hand in the eyeball. I don't know, okay? But I have a thing with eyeballs, and I'm scared to death that one day my eyeball is going to fall out of my head with dangling on the little string, and I got to put it back. I have nightmares about this. This is a real unrealistic fear. So I'm playing in this basketball game, and the game is tight. The game is tight, and I'm playing pretty decently, not great, but pretty decently, right? And I go in for a rebound, and our center was a senior, and he didn't flunk off the team. Literally is the strongest person in the world. Now, he wasn't, but to me, he was. He was one of the strongest people in the world. And we both go up for the rebound, and his arms flail back, and his hand or arms hits me in the face. I fall to the ground. Why? He hit me directly in the eye. But not only do I fall down to the ground, I grab my eye because to me, my eyeball is about to pop out of my head. And I run all the way down to the other end of the court, holding my eye. Nothing's wrong with my eye. But in my mind, my eye is about to come out of my head. So I run all the way down to the other end of the court. There's no play on the other end of the court. The play is still on the court that I ran from. I just run in pain all the way down to the other end of the court. They sub me out. I sit on the bench. The trainer's like, "What's going on?" I get hit in the eye. My eye's about to fall out. That's literally verbatim what I said. I got hit in the eye. My eye's about to fall out. He said, "Well, open your eyes. Let me see." I said, "I can't because if I open my eyes are going to fall out my head." He said, "Bruce, your eyes are not going to fall out your head. Open your eyes." So they're sitting down on the bench. The assistant coach, because my head coach is coaching the game, and he's frustrated with me. He's like, "Bruce, your eyeball's not going to fall out your head." No, it's going to fall out of my head as soon as I open up my eye. It's going to fall out, and it's just going to be dangling from the string. Are y'all going to be able to put it back in? Because I don't know if y'all going to be able to put it back in. And let me tell you something. I can't live being one-eyed Bruce. That's not going to be a thing that I'm going to be able to deal with. I have a little bit of an ego, and I don't want to be one-eyed Bruce. There was a guy that was in my high school. He had a glass eye. You think that we didn't joke on him about that glass eye? Now, he whooped a couple of people's ass. And so we joked on him behind his back because we were afraid of him. If I knew how to box. So I was just going to get in his blind spots if I really had to fight him. But anyway, eventually, after 10 to 15 minutes, the game is still going on, right? 10 to 15 minutes, they finally get me to open my eyes and they're like, Bruce, can you see? I was like, yeah, it's a little blurry. It was like, because you got water and sweat in your eyes. Let's flush your eyes out and see if your eye swells up. My eye doesn't swell up. This happened in the first half, probably the second quarter, right? So it happened in the first half of the game. I'm sitting on the bench till really the fourth quarter because I'm nursing my eye. Mind you, it's a game that we need to win. We need to win this game to make it to the playoffs. If we lose a game, I think we had one more game, but it's not quite do or die, but it's do or die. If we win the game, we're guaranteed to be in the playoffs. If we lose the game, we have to win another game to get into the playoffs. Okay. Fourth quarter comes around. I'm like, Coach, I'm ready. He was like, I don't think you're ready after the way you was acting with your eye. I was like, look, Coach, put me in the game. We need to be in the game. We're down. We were down in the game. I was like, put me in the game, Coach. Put me in the game. He says, okay, Panky, get in there. Cut. He says, okay, Bruce, get in there. So I get in there. We're down. I throw up a three-pointer. I was a shooter. So I throw up a three-pointer. It doesn't go in, but it feels good. Y'all out there who have never played basketball, there's a feeling that you get when you're shooting the basketball. It feels good. And although I missed it, it felt good. And I was like, oh, I'm going to hit the next one. So I come down, next play of the game, they pass me the ball. I throw up a three, goes in. Cut the lead down a little bit. Then there was a fast break, and I pull up NBA range. Get the pass on the fast break, pull up for a three, drill it. This is all in the fourth quarter, and this is all with like under 2 minutes remaining. I hit 3 3-pointers in the last minute. It was in the newspaper. It was a big deal. One of the 3-pointers I hit, I grabbed a defensive rebound off a free throw. I dribbled the length of the court and pulled up Steph Curry. Now, y'all may think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. This is a true story. My eye almost fell out of my head. And in the fourth quarter, I'm knocking down 3-pointers to put us back in the game. Now, we ended up losing the game. So I was distraught. So not only is my eye about to pop out my head, we lose the game. So I'm in the locker room. The coach is talking. I put my head in my shirt and I start bawling. Because I know the season's over with. Like, I know the season's over. We got another game, but I know the season's over with. Okay. I know it is. And I didn't want the season to end like this. This is my sophomore year. To me, I only got 2 more years to win a state championship. And I wanted to win 4 straight state championships. And I'm down 2 years already. So I'm crying. My boy, my best friend at the time, was like, hey, man, he played on the JV team. He's like, hey, man, did you have to run the length of the court? I was like, what you talking about? When you got hit in the face, I was like, hey, man, I don't know what you know, but my eye was about to fall out of my head. I put my eye back in my head and made those 3-pointers to bring us close. I mean, we still lost, so those 3-pointers don't mean nothing, but I still did it. We were riding the bus, and he's like, hey, man, what's that white stuff on your chin and neck? I was like, I don't know. I started brushing it off. It was dried snot. He said, not only did you run down the whole length of the court, but you got dried snot on your cheek and neck. How did that even happen? I was like, it must have happened when I was crying. You was crying? Why were you crying? I was crying because we lost the game. We done lost a bunch of games. You crying over this one? I was like, man, we're not going to make it to the playoffs. You still got a shot. That wouldn't mean that you need to cry and leave snot. And at that, dried snot all on your cheek and your neck. Hey, yo, Bruce got dry snot on his cheek and his neck after running down the court. Hey, I ran down the court to protect my eyeball. I don't know what running down the full length of the court to protect my eyeball did, but for me in that moment, I needed to run the full length of the court to protect my eyeball. And guess what? My eyeballs are still here. Now, I can't say anything about that dried snot, which is disgusting. How did snot get on my cheek and neck? Like, I don't even know how that was possible. I wasn't like I was wiping my nose and then putting it on my cheek and neck like it's cologne. How the hell did that happen? Well, my dad picks me up because it's like a 3-hour ride from where we were playing. My dad picks me up. It's like past midnight. He's like, "How'd the game go?" I said, "We lost." He's like, "I'm sorry to hear that, son." Drive home, I go to bed. I get a knock on the door next thing in the morning. He was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" "Tell you what?" "You told me y'all lost." "We did lose." "Yeah, but you didn't tell me what you did at the end of the game." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Son, it's here in the newspaper. You hitting all these three-pointers to bring the game close and y'all just didn't pull it out. But this is incredible." I was like, "I don't care, Dad. We lost." He's like, "All right, well, you did well, so you should be proud about that." And I was like, "I'm not proud. We lost." Then my dad saw the videotape because he wanted to see the game. He wanted to see his son knocking down all these three-pointers. But he couldn't get past the second quarter because he said, "No, that's not my son running the full length of the court. What happened, son?" I said, "My eyeball was about to pop out of my head."
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.